Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create the time freeze effect that you can see in the video Copilot tutorial of the same name. I'll put the link to that into the description. And it's basically a combination of layering different videos and masking out the areas that you want. Okay, let's head into Blender. First of all, we don't need the cube or the lamp. In fact, we don't need the 3D render at all. And let's set up the working space. We go to video editing, and as a slight change, first of all, hit N while hovering over this preview area and deselect OpenGL preview. That way, when we import the video, we will get a preview there of everything we do with the video and the compositor, and instead of a video of our 3D view, which is what OpenGL would do. Then this window over here, change it to movie clip editor, because that's where we are going to do the masking. Let me add the clip that we'll be working on, and you can download this clip at Video Copilot. Let's set the end frame. It's 240 frames long. Oh, sorry, that's already the video that I had prepared beforehand where I tried out the effect. We want add movie from the footage folder. That's it. Here's the end frame. So, and when we play this back, we can see first it's footage of this man walking with the boxes and then falling, and then he comes in from the other side of the frame and walks back out again. The switch between the two is exactly at this frame, so I will do a soft cut, which creates 2 frames from this, and I move. On second thought, I will undo this and I do a hard cut. The difference between soft and hard cut is with a soft cut you still will have the stuff that it will still have the information about what you've cut away. So if you extend the clip, you get back what you've cut away. But with a hard cut, it will simply repeat the last frame that the frame at which you've cut. Let me adjust the opacity of this clip and then link up. We get the character falling right here. And I think this is a nice moment to cut, or to freeze him in time, and then the other character comes in about here. So once again, I've refresh sequencer. I choose this moment this frame right here to freeze time. Then I will make a hard cut and move this one back to here. So the character will continue falling as soon I think I can move it here. So as soon as the other character leaves the frame, the original character will continue to fall. And because we made a hard cut, if we select this clip right here and extend it by right-clicking on this triangle right here and moving it, it will simply repeat the last frame. Why is it jumping back? That shouldn't happen. Let me refresh the sequencer. Yeah. Sometimes it caches some wrong frames into the RAM and you don't get an accurate preview. If that happens, just press refresh sequencer. And here you can see how this will play out timing wise. The character walks into the frame, refresh, and falls, freezes in space, and the other character walks in. Now we open up the same clip in the movie clip editor. And we go to the same frame at which we freeze our time, which is this frame. Exactly frame 95. And we're going to go into masking mode. Let me maximize the masking screen. And now we create a new mask. I will call this simply man, to mask out a man, and with Control left click I can create points for the mask, and I'll just select these boxes first and mask toggle cyclic to switch it, and switch direction because all my handles were into the wrong direction. I press A to select everything, and because the box is just straight line, I don't need any curved lines, so I press V and select vector as the type. And now all my handles are just a normal straight line. Let me clean it up a little bit for the boxes. So we have the boxes masked out, and at mask layers I call this layer boxes, and add another one that I will call man, and this one on this layer I will Control left click. If you Control left click too close to the mask layer that you already have, it might be that, like here, it adds the point to the other mask up there, which is not what we want. Then just undo it and since this is just a tutorial, I will be just moving very quickly with this mask. And not do a very proper job. Obviously, the more time you will take for this, the better the mask with which you will end up with. And make sure, if you've seen it right now, it will always add a new point with Control left click to the last one you have selected. So make sure the last point actually is. It has to be white to indicate that it's selected. And I will just keep going here. In order to do this cleanly, it's a rather time-consuming job. And toggle cyclic. So much for this. And minimize that again. And now we, with the clip right here selected, press Control Shift D to duplicate it, and then Y to restrict the movement to upwards and move it above the layer with the character walking. Deselect it and go exactly to the frame. One more, exactly to the frame where you start freezing. And now with the uppermost frame selected, we go to Add Strip Modifier, Mask, and change this right here to Mask and select Man. And now we should, theory at least, not cross alpha over. With the upper strip selected, select alpha over as blending mode after you've added the mask modifier, and now we can see .5. Let's see how this plays out. We have the character walking into frame, and that's working okay, but this character in the middle layer is still half transparent, and if we increase the transparency to 100, we don't see the character walking. So we need another mask on this video right here that goes from one side where he comes in it will basically just be a mask that extends from this side to about here and then shrinks as he walks out of frame again. To do that, we add a new mask, create new mask right here, and we have to find the start frame for it. Just before he comes into view will be a good starting point. I'll name this mask BG for background and add 4 points. And I want to feather it a little bit like this. And I will insert a keyframe by pressing I. You can now see in this timeline down here there is a keyframe, and let me undo that because I've made a small mistake. See, that's the little problem here. We are still working in the video clip editor with the one clip that contains both the footage of the character falling and the character walking back in, so the frames don't match up, and it would always use the masking corresponding to the frames in this clip in the movie clip editor and not from the video sequence editor that we use down here. So we actually have to look at both at the same time. Shortly before walking into frame, and now hover over this field right here, press I to insert a keyframe. You can see a yellow marker has appeared in the timeline at exactly that frame. With the middle footage selected, also choose alpha over and add a mask, select mask and background. And we can see he's visible for a short moment. And now if we extend the mask, always refresh sequencer while doing this. Of course I didn't set the keyframe, so to work a little better, let me undo this with a mask right here and reset the opacity to the blend mode to cross, which is the standard, and to 50% just to see what I'm doing. We're here in this frame and he doesn't go any further than this. So I select these 2 points, move around Around here should be enough. I press I to insert a keyframe. And then he moves out of the frame till here. And I can move this back and press I again. And now if I choose alpha over and reapply the mask background, we can see him walking and going back, and the mask kind of follows him, but around here he's too fast for the mask, so I readjust it. So let's see where the next spot is where he fades out, kind of, because the mask isn't moving. About here, and we have to move the mask back till about, I'd say here. Press I and his leg disappears for a short moment right there, so move the mask back again and always refresh sequencer to see your changes. And now we can see he's walking out. And I will maximize this screen for you and play it back. We can see the character walking, freezing, other character walks into frame, walks out again, and there you have it. That's basically the time freeze effect. As you can tell, it's not too easy doing this with Blender because of the way the movie clip editor, where you create your masks, works, because it's always, you can't really get a preview. But I think with having the mask editor right here and at the same time your video sequencer preview, you can get a nice workaround and still work and make this usable. I hope you've learned something, and happy blending. See you next time. Goodbye.